Well, I hope that you are ready to welcome in a new voice to folk radio. First time on WUMB live and first time actually in Boston. Noelie McDonnell. Hi, how are you?
Good, I'm good. How are
Good.
you?
Now, we want to know exactly where you're from before we ask you for a song.
I'm from Galway, County Galway. I was born in a town called Tuam, and now I live in a place called Headford, but I'm very much based in Galway. The
Great.
West of Ireland. Yeah.
Great, because there are, I'm sure, many, many listeners who know exactly where you're talking about.
Probably, yeah.
But what we are really most fond of are your songs. Will you give us a song?
I'd love to. I meet you in the crowded bar, and it's far enough away, and you don't even notice me, but I go there anyway, and I'm trying to be cool with you, and I'm trying to play it safe, so for now, it's far enough away, and we go out walking and it's far enough away. Sometimes you touch my hand, but only by mistake. My heart has been broken in 100 different ways. So for now, it's far enough away. And you tell me all about yourself and what you really want, and I tell you all about myself, all the letting go, all the holding on. Your lips are on my lips, and it's far enough away. Your breath is on my skin, and your eyes, they seem to say, maybe in some far off place we might regret this day, but for now it's far enough away. For now it's far enough away.
Folk Radio WUMB. That's Noelie McDonnell. Now, is the title of the song Far Enough Away?
Far enough away, yeah. Yeah.
How wise. And don't you just love it when the line in the chorus, when the refrain, gets to change meaning with every verse? It's like, it must be for the writer, it must be like, Eureka! I found a way to make it work.
Well, I think the way these things happen for me anyway is I sit down from the start of the song to the finish, and usually after 3 or 4 minutes it's done, so I don't spend too much time thinking about it. I think the enough thing in it is the way it's a kind of it's very much part of the speech in Ireland. People go, how far is it? That's far enough, or close enough, or enough is it's a well used word over there, I think.
It's a little idiomatic little device that is used to sort of soften. Also, don't you think? I mean, it's a kind of a qualifier. So it works so well in this song about a relationship that. Right. Well, you just want to sort of tread lightly and walking on eggs a little, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it works beautifully. And the melody has a very sort of natural sound to it. And I think sometimes we take for granted a musician's sense of melody, you know, as if it just, well, it must just sort of like fall out with no, you know, no work. You know, it comes, you know, like gravy with the roast beef, you know. But that isn't always true, is it? Do you sometimes sort of begin with a snippet of a melody and then have to go find the parts that fill it out, or?
I suppose it must be different for everybody, you know. For me, I find that a melody will come, you know, just when I'm at the store or something, walking down the street, you know, and I'll start whistling it or thinking about it in my head. And it might be a couple hours before I get back to my guitar and try it out, but it's generally kind of formed already, you know.
But then how do you capture it so that it doesn't fly away, like, you know?
I don't know. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday about this, and I was we were talking about the great songwriters, you know, and who we consider them to be. And for me, it would be, you know, Bob Dylan, John Prine, Townes Van Zandt, you know, on and on, the people like that. And I think, like, for me, great songwriter is once you hear the melody once or maybe twice, it becomes, you know, it never leaves you.
It becomes a thing. It becomes a permanent entity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what Irish songwriters do you look to?
Well, yeah, there's so many, and at the moment
that's what I was wondering.
They're so popular.
I'm hoping that you're going to give me a little window here.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, when I was younger, I used to love Paul Brady, Christy Moore, people like that, and I listened to them all the time. And towards I suppose it was around the mid '90s, there seemed to be kind of you know, there was a burst of Irish singer-songwriters, you know. So now you have people like, well, obviously Damien Rice. You've got a great guy there called Damien Dempsey, he's from Dublin. A fella called Mundy, who comes over here a bit as well. All these great songwriters, and I looked at all of them, and, you know, I really, for each one of them, there's something about them that I really, sometimes I go, oh, I wish I could do that, you know. So that's a good
So
feeling.
Plenty to aspire to.
Christy Moore has a brother then called, he used to be known as Barry Moore, but he changed his name to Luca Bloom. And Lucas lived in New York for a number of years. I think it was about 5 or 6 years, and he was signed to a big label and all that stuff. And so his music was available everywhere, and, you know, his style is very unique and very lovely. And recently got to play in the round with him, so it was
what fun!
Real brilliant experience, yeah. Him, and there was a friend of mine there called Rosie, who's another great songwriter, and two brothers, Joe and Steve Wall, who were in a band called The Walls, used to be called The Stunning. All these people are in Ireland. If you went to Ireland and said to anyone who The Stunning is, everyone would know who they are. Famous in Ireland, you know.
Grand.
So lots of great music in Ireland in terms of songwriting, and I'd have to say that I probably influenced and certainly a fan of most of it, you know.
Well, it's good to keep those ears open.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it's very easy actually to hear Noelie McDonnell for yourself, but only tonight. On his first visit to Boston, you played the Paradise last night. Right?
Yeah, I opened up for the Saw Doctors in the Paradise last night.
Oh, great. My heavens!
Yeah,
yeah,
great fun.
Oh,
great,
what a wonderfully
high energy,
wild night that must have been.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And tonight you can go to the corner. It's actually the corner of Brookline Ave and Mass Ave in Cambridge. You know, the Middle East, their intimate little venue. And Noelie McDonnell will be playing there, I believe, 10 o'clock tonight. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
But here we are live at noon. You've got the Larrivee in your hand. Let's go.
Okay. I need to just pick up my harmonica for this one.
We're going to let him pick up his harmonica because we wouldn't want to be without it.
This is a song called Stars at the Edge of Town. I know your name, you've been round my way. I wish that you would stay shining down on the window now. It's a while since I've been around here alone. To the stars at the edge of town. I know your name, it's crossed these lips before. I'll take you to my door, and you can roll right into my room to see things the way I do, and past the lights on the avenue and the worry, and to the stars at the edge of the town, shining down on the window now. It's a while since I've been around here alone. Hey, the stars at the edge of town. And hey, I know your name. You've been around my way. Wish that you would stay, because you're fine. Oh, there's a place so close and far away, and if you come with me, they will shine, shine, shine. Hey, the stars at the edge of the town, shining down on the window now. It's a while since I've been around here alone. To the stars at the edge of the town, shining down on the window now. It's a while since I've been around here alone. To the stars at the edge of town.
Folk Radio WUMB, that's Noelie McDonnell, Stars at the Edge of Town. We should tell folks that there is a Noelie McDonnell CD, self-titled.
Self-titled?
Yes.
Eponymous, even.
Oh, don't you love that word, eponymous. And the eponymous Live at Noon feature today, Noelie McDonnell, Live at Noon. And are there other recordings? Is this really the debut, or is this the first one that's been sent out sort of like to the great world?
Yeah,
at large.
It's the first one that was properly recorded in a studio and that kind of thing. I have an EP that I made. It was a 7-track little thing that I made at home with home recording equipment and everything, which came out quite nice. And I did some gigs around Ireland and in England using that as a way of, letting people go home with a bit of it. And it went, it went down very well. You can still get it on my website, actually.
Oh, that would be NoelieMcDonnell.com.
Yeah.
And McDonnell, no D at the end. It's McDonnell like Tommy McDonnell.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to think of
Maybe
someone.
we should spell the whole thing.
Why don't we just, because, yes, and it's confused. Noel, like Noel Coward. Only with an I-E at the end.
That's right.
Noelie.
That's right.
McDonnell.
Yeah. It's tricky, but
Yeah, and you can also you can check it out through our WUMB website too.
Great. So that EP is available on that website, as this album is as well, the self-titled one,
Well, how about another song, and then we'll talk a little bit more about your travels, etc.
Okay.
Noelie will be traveling to Central Square tonight in Cambridge when he plays at the Middle East at the corner of Mass Ave and Brookline Ave. But right now, he's going to play live for us on Folk Radio.
Keep that chin up in the air, boy. You're gonna miss the world spinning round. Be careful with that stare, boy. Lord only knows the trouble that it found. And Look at anything that's going next to nothing, and take anything that's free. And when you're sure that there's nobody looking, steal a rhythm back for me. You've been dragging on your boot heels now, you've been staring into space. Been afraid to take your trouble by the shoulder and look it in the face. But there's a band that's sending shivers down my spine, mysterious and true. And if I get my hands on that guitar, I'll steal a rhythm back for you. You're my brother, you're my confidant. And sometimes what you got and what you think you need aren't half of what you want. And we are two boys in a dinghy out in Spittle, we are masters of the sea. Get a chance, put in your hand, steal a rhythm back for me. No, two boys in a dinghy out in Spittle, we are masters of the sea. And if you get a chance, put in your hand, steal a rhythm back for me. Oh, if you get a chance, put in your hand, steal a rhythm back for me.
Folk Radio WUMB, Steal a Rhythm. It's on Noelie McDonnell's self-titled CD, and here we are live at noon with a version of it. Will you define a term for us? Out in...
Spittle.
How do you spell that one?
Oh, S-P-I-D-E fada A-L really is the proper spelling.
And what does it mean?
It's a town. It's a...
it's a town.
It's a village, really. Yeah, a little village in... as you head west out of Galway towards Connemara, where there are parts where they still only speak Irish, and it's very isolated and barren and very beautiful because it's all down by the west coast. There's lots of beaches, and where me and my brother used to go or be brought to when we were much younger, 7 and 8 and 6 years old, was down to this beach near Spittle in County Galway. And we had a little inflatable dinghy that I can still picture, a little, the colour of brown and cream thing, and you used to have to inflate it, two of us to get into it and hit the waves, We'd be looking over, you could see the Burn in County Clare from that beach, and it was about 2 miles away, but to us it seemed no problem, we could make it,
Mm-hmm.
And that was that song is for and about my brother, and that dinghy in Spittle is something that the two of us remember very well and very fondly, So that's what that's about in that song.
When everything was all about possibilities.
Yeah. Mm.
Now, have you had times in your life when music has really saved you, got you to the next point when it seemed like, gee, things looked kind of grim, but I mean, without getting too personal.
Of course, but I mean, I think that I think that's why music is so popular, for want of a better word, is because it does. People are, emotionally affected by it. I think people hear certain songs and they remember certain periods of their life, something that was going on around the time that song was a hit, or they were listening to that record at that time. And I mean, music has been saving me all, since I learned how to play guitar, really.
And when was that?
Well, I guess I was 12. It started,
Just when life starts to really get hard.
Yeah.
That's when you need a guitar or a piano or
I'd highly recommend
a penny whistle or an accordion or something. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and for some people, you really need a boron.
Yeah.
Oh, grand.
Something to beat.
Well, now we've been saying that Noelie McDonnell is here on his very first visit to Boston, but that's a little unfair to our friends on Cape Cod, who
True.
have already had the opportunity to hear you play. Last night you were at the Paradise, but back some months ago you were on the Cape.
Well, I was actually in the Cape this week as well.
This time too.
Yeah. I've met some very nice friends out there, and we've begun to put on a couple of little gigs, and people are coming down to the shows, and
That's great.
It's been going great out there, yeah.
And you've got some coverage in the Cape Cod Times, which I've noticed on your printouts of reviews and so forth.
That's right, yeah.
But we were talking just before the interview. I kind of want to let the folks in on this a bit. That it's a really lovely thing to be able to come to the U.S. and play in bars that cater and music rooms and so forth that cater to Irish Americans and really connect to the Irish in you. And tell us, if you will, about your European Irish connections. And
yeah,
trip. It just sounded like such a fascinating trip.
Well, we were talking about how there's such an Irish connection, particularly here in Boston and all of this, out in the Cape and everything, and so many Irish pubs and Irish. But when I was 18 or so, I went to see my cousin who was living in Dusseldorf in Germany, and we hawked a living for 3 or 4 months, travelling up and down the Rhine playing in Irish pubs. And if you go to France, you can find Irish pubs everywhere, and Spain, certain parts of Spain. It's a funny. I suppose people associate, the Irish with the pub and the crack and that kind of thing, and so it's a bit of a maybe it's a bit of a cliche or whatever, but everywhere you go there are Irish pubs.
But it certainly is a value of sort of joyful and happy camaraderie that is exported not just to the U.S. but to Europe,
everywhere,
and countries all over the world.
Yeah, it's great, and when you travel around the world and you're Irish, I mean, you go to some places and people would say, "Oh, you're English," and you go, "No, I'm Irish," and then they're delighted that you're not English, Oh, you're Irish. Oh, great.
Oh, we can have.
So that works everywhere. That's not just kind of here. It's in Europe as well. It's a funny thing. I played a gig recently in Italy, and I don't have any Italian. I got invited. Somebody had brought a CD back from Galway to Padova, which is about an hour south of Venice. Beautiful, beautiful city. And I got an email inviting me to play at this festival, and I was nervous in that what I do often when I play on my own like this, when I haven't got a band with me or whatever, I tell stories and I try to explain the songs and stuff. And so I had no Italian, but the gig went so well. It went. First of all, a lot of people came down to see this Irish person. They were kind of a bit fascinated by that, and then it just, it really worked as well. So yeah, it's a good thing, I think, to be Irish.
Well, and we're glad that you bring the joy of it with you. And Noelie McDonnell will be tonight at the Corner at the Middle East. And if you're listening now, stop by tonight at 10 o'clock at the corner of Mass Ave and Brookline Ave, and you'll see Noelie McDonnell. You can say, "Oh, I heard you earlier today."
Great.
And that'll just prove that you can listen to the radio early and stay up early and stay up late too.
Yeah.
It's it's an accomplishment in itself.
It's an achievement in itself.
How about one more song before we go?
Thank you very much. This is a song I wrote when I was first in the States, I lived in New York City. I was about 20, and I worked for a removals company. And I worked really hard, but I had such a great time when I came back home. I missed New York, and this is what I had to say about that.
They tell me that I'm young and not to wish my life away. A boy like you's as good as the last word that you say. It doesn't make much sense to me, but everybody's happy, I suppose. And so be still while we instill that something's not right. Close your eyes, sleep again tonight. Hey, I dream of New York City, even when I am not trying. And though weary of returning and afraid to say goodbye, there's a piece of me I see on 2nd Avenue tonight, singing, oh, I am alive. Oh, I am alive. And they tell me that the world is wide and I'm not ready yet. And the more I settle down and save, the closer that I get. It doesn't make much sense to me, but everybody's happy, I suppose. And so carry on and sing for us, say a song. Something's not right. Oh, close your eyes, sleep again tonight. I dream of New York City, even when I am not trying. And though weary of returning and afraid to say goodbye, there's a piece of me I see on 2nd Avenue tonight, singing on, I am alive. Oh, I am alive. So stay a while. There's something on the street that'll make you smile. Something's not right. Oh, close your eyes, sleep again tonight. Hey, I dream of New York City, even when I am not trying. And though weary of returning and afraid to say goodbye, there's a piece in me I see on 2nd Avenue tonight, singing on, I am alive. Oh, I am alive. Singing on, I am alive.
We've been visiting with Noelie McDonnell live at noon. Live at noon on WUMB is made possible by our listeners and by the International Songwriting Competition, open to all songwriters, bands, and solo artists, with over a dozen entry categories, including folk singer-songwriter. Judges include industry professionals and recording artists such as Tom Waits, Roseanne Cash, Brian Wilson, and more. Entry deadline is October 16th. Songwritingcompetition.com for entry details.